Hey guys, it's Combat Saturday, and today's topic is about bare knuckle boxing. All right, it's one of my favorite topics and my fighting system. So my particular style of bare knuckle boxing is based upon several different things. One is my practice of Wing Chun. Another is my study and correspondence with people who teach the old Irish bare knuckle boxing style. Okay, there was another guy named Danny Sambrano who I used to correspond with, but he passed away some years ago. And there are some various other arts um, where I've taken influence from as well. Okay, but they all have a lot of common ground. Okay, if you look at you know, Wing Chun, how they stand and how they punch and things versus the old Irish bare knuckle boxers, you're going to see a lot of similarities. Okay, very similar. So one of the first differences is it's more than just taking off the gloves. There is a difference in how you actually approach things and how you actually punch. You know, there is a change in how it's done. Okay. Before going any further, though, it's important to point out that unless your knuckles are conditioned for it, unless you've done sufficient training with bare knuckle punching and things, I mean, I've done it for a long time. You're gonna hurt your hands in a real street fight. Okay, you better off using palms. The same body mechanics apply with palms. Okay, but just keep that in mind. All right, you need to do a lot of conditioning for it. And some people, they just don't. Genetically, they just don't have good punching hands. Good, they don't have good punching knuckles. Okay, now in my case, I mean, I was told a long time ago, I have good punching knuckles. They're not like this because of training. Actually, I was just born this way, you know. So I do have good knuckles here. So when I punch, I can really drive them in there. Okay, but I see some people who have very small knuckles and things, and don't have the strongest wrists and things, you really better not punch in a street fight. Okay, okay, all right. So one of the things about street boxing, bare knuckle boxing, which can work in the ring, but will not really work in the street so much, is that you don't want to be excessively bladed. You know, bladed meaning two side on. Okay, and you don't want to be excessively on the balls of your feet dancing around. Okay, you need to be more flat-footed. Okay, but the pressure is on the balls of your feet. Okay, there's a difference between having your heels raised up so high and having the pressure on the balls of your feet. All right, there's a difference. If the pressure's there, you can still push forward quickly without any motion that will give it away. Okay, any preemptive motion, but you're not going to be losing your balance and things, because if you're doing street boxing, you don't know what the environment is like. You know, you might have like stuff on the ground, and the ground. It's not going to be even. It's not going to be perfect like a mat. Okay, and you also have to allow for people to do other things, because people will do takedowns and they'll try them anyway, and they might try and kick, although it doesn't happen too often, but people do try sometimes. Okay, people you're likely to deal with on the street are most likely going to be idiots and also most likely drunk. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind too. But still, people will try these things. Okay, so you need to allow for that. So you want to have a stance more square on. Okay, much more square on, and pressure on the balls of your feet and more square on. Now, if you look at an MMA match, you're gonna see a lot more of that, because obviously they do allow takedowns and grappling in MMA, and they know that. So you see the way they fight, they're more squared off, and they're more flat-footed, and it's exactly like I said, because all these other things are allowed in an MMA match. You know, yeah. That's much closer to actual bare knuckle boxing too, because the MMA gloves are much smaller and thinner and things. And there's still a bit of a difference, but it is a lot closer. All right. So you want to have your feet more flat-footed. You want to be, have the pressure on the balls of your feet, so you can still move well, but not give away your balance in this. And you want to be more squared up. Okay. Now, in terms of your hands, you really want to have open hands. Okay. Now, some people might have one hand open, one hand closed, or here, right, or both hands, or some people may even have both hands closed. It depends. But I really think it's better to have both hands open, because if you're in there, you might punch or you might do a palm strike. You don't know what you're going to do, but at least you have options here. If they're in a fist, you have to open it and then close it again to make a fist, or you have to open it to make a palm strike, or you have to open it to grab someone or something, right? So it's possible to where I could hit someone, come in here, and my hand would be here. I could grab a shirt or something, or grab back of his head maybe, and I can do something, right? So you want to have options there. Okay, that's why I'd have an open guard. Okay, you don't want to have it up here too close. Okay, because you don't have big gloves to protect your face and things, right? You don't have a big shield there. Okay, you can use elements of that, okay, but don't actually glue into your face. I mean, even with gloves, you shouldn't glue into your face like that, because you can hit yourself. Okay, you want to have it a bit further out. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so here, and when it's a little further, not down here or like way out like that. Okay, but maybe about here. So one hand is close to your face, a couple of inches from your face, and one hand is out here, okay? Slightly open. Okay, so here I can parry, I can hit, I can do palms, I can do punches, I can do whatever. I have options, okay? And also having it this way allows for a loose body more. So it's easier for me to move around and things, okay? Quick side note, a lot of people, armchair martial artists will say, don't slip and weave and things like that, because you're gonna get kneed in the face. So, okay, they always say that, and it sounds like it might make sense, okay, but it all happens so fast. That head will be down and up by the time you even get your knee up. So I mean, that doesn't apply, okay? So, all right. Now, in terms of how you actually punch, okay, and one other reason also, sorry for going back here, but one other reason also for having your hands a bit further away from your face is that when you punch, you can use the hips more, boom, 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 right? That kind of thing, okay? When it's really glued to your face, honestly, it might seem like a good idea, but you're gonna lack some of the whole body power, okay? And if you watch clips of Mike Tyson fighting and punching the heavy bag, you watch him. He doesn't have it stuck to his face. He's got him down around here. And watch the clips of him training, and you'll see that. Okay? All right. So, in terms of how you actually punch now, elbow power and circular energy is very important. Now, circular energy, you can have a straight punch and still have circular energy. Okay? There must be circles in every movement you do. Any movement which is completely straight, I mean completely all the way through, is going to lack flow. You're not going to have you can throw the one shot and then you're going to have to kind of reset to do the second shot. You won't have flow. You want to flow, you got to have circular motions in there, okay? So circular motion can be a corkscrew, it can be hook, it can be, even when it goes straight out like this, it arcs back a little bit, okay? But there's going to be circular motions in every movement you do, all right? So, in terms of how you punch, we like to punch either vertical fist or 45-degree fist, okay? And we like to focus on the middle knuckle here. That way you might end up hitting the first two, or you might end up hitting the last three here, okay? But try to avoid making contact with the pinky, because that's where the boxer's fracture happens, okay? So focus on the middle knuckle here, and whatever you end up hitting is what you end up hitting, because there are a lot of people argue about that, but the thing is that human body, your targets that you're going to hit are not completely flat, okay? So I mean, like here, okay, this is completely flat here, okay? But so if I just focus on my middle knuckle right now without any preparation, okay, I kind of got the bottom two here, right? If I turn it, depends on where. Yeah, you see there, I kind of got these two, the first two, right? Because just the way my fist was angled a bit, and the way it's positioned, I mean, it's flat up and down, but it's round this way, right? So just focus on the big middle one, and you'll be okay. All right. So we covered the feet, not being too on your toes. We covered the stance. You don't want to be too bladed. You want to be more square on. Okay, we covered having a good guard, a nice loose, relaxed guard, but still, in the game, of course, right here, open hands, all right. And when you punch, boom. Now, what you want to do, one drill to help punch is just to. I did this thing a while ago where it's like going to jail, where you have your hands behind your back too. But you can also do it in front. It's the same idea, okay? So here, just try and do that. Boom, boom. So use the shoulders moving. Get the shoulders into it. So step back, shoulder, step back, shoulder, step back, shoulder. And then every movement is going to be a shoulder, it's going to involve some shoulder movement. So let's say, so if I punch this way, 1, 2, right? 1, 1, 2. And in the air, of course, you're going to have this arc back, right? Because you had to have that circular energy. 1, 1, 2, right? So, but I'm using my shoulders. I'm using my shoulders and my whole body to punch. It's not only an arm punch, right? 1, 2. Okay. Now let's say I want to do a hook. The way we do a hook in the bare knuckles type boxing is it's not the high hook here. If I'm going to do that, that would be an elbow strike. Okay, that's a different, of course, entirely. Okay, if I'm going to do a hook punch, it's called a whipping punch. What's going to happen here is that the elbow stays down and my fist is still vertical or angled. Okay, and it just kind of whips out. See, so there's the straight line and there's the whip. There's a hook. See, so it comes out on the side. So it's almost like, the same body mechanics as the elbow or regular hook, but it's going to be a whipping hook, right? See? So if I can, or the shoulder, I can do the lead, the jab, right? 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 So this, always use the body, use the shoulder, and use the vertical fist, and keep the elbow down. Okay? So those are probably the main things I can think of. Okay, use the entire body, vertical or angle fist, keep the elbow down, use the elbow energy, and use circular motions, okay? Corkscrew punches are still done. They can still be done. Depends on what the target you're hitting. Let's say you're punching someone in the neck. It's hard to get a vertical fist in there, but turn it over, you can get it, okay? So, yeah, this, I'm going to say, is your default. It's by no means the only way you can punch, but that's the preferred way to punch towards the head. Towards the body, then it makes more sense to turn it over, okay? Or you also have shovel hooks. So again, remember, circles and everything. When you do the shovel hook, you had to have that rotation, right? So it's a very short movement, but there is still a circle there because there's that rotation. So boom, boom, right? Again, the elbow is obviously down here, okay? It's down here, it's down here, and it's down here, okay? That's the thing. And then there is head movement as well, but the head movement is more or less just like conventional boxing. So I'm not going to bother going over that right now because, there's tons of stuff on that, okay? And I've done that kind of thing before too. But I just want to talk about some of the bare knuckle boxing tips and the differences in how you might punch versus glove boxing, okay? So let's do a quick review here, okay? The feet, all right? Don't be excessively on the balls of your feet, all right? Have the pressure on the balls of your feet, but stay essentially flat-footed, all right? Essentially, all right? That's the way it'll look, but you won't really be, but it'll look that way, okay? Have your stance more squared up. You have more options for head movement, for offense, for leg strikes, that kind of thing, whatever. It's more options there. Have circles in all your strikes, all your movements. Have circles in them, okay? Even little ones, okay? That's a circle too. That's a circle, okay? That's a circle, okay? Have those circles in there. Open guard. Not really tight against your face, glued against your face. Open guard. Here. Okay, here. Open hands, okay? And try to punch with a vertical or diagonal fist, all right? At least when it comes to higher heights, okay? And keep the elbow down and use that for your power, okay? That's the source of your power. And that is actually the one of the common things I found with the Irish bare knuckle boxing and the Wing Chun. Actually, I saw that they both emphasize that a lot, and I thought it's really cool to see that. It's it's a very bare knuckle boxing, like anything else, has evolved over the years. If you look at the old bare knuckle boxing back in the 19th century, it's they were a lot more stiff back then. You know, you can see the way they stood. You know, there is very old footage. It's very grainy, but there is footage, and yeah, they're a lot more stiff. In the 20th century, they have really perfected a lot of the head movement. Okay, so I like to incorporate that into it as well. You know, it's very important to do that. You can use your head not only after you punch, whatever, but as you punch, you use your head too. Okay, so if I go bum bum bum, see, there's a little head movement. I don't have to go like crazy like here. Okay, but just a little bit, right? It's in, you know, you're moving around a bit, right? Because a fist is, remember, a fist is only this big, right? So right, that's enough, right. So you don't have to go crazy, right? Because the further you go off your main position, the further you have to come back. Okay, so don't move your head by all means, but don't go crazy. Okay, I've seen some of these fitness boxing videos, and they're going ridiculous. Okay, all right. So just move this. So just remember those things. The best, I think, to end things off, the best thing I can think of saying, describing, is that everything with bare knuckle boxing is just tighter. Okay, the head moves might be a little tighter. The punches are certainly a little tighter. The hooks are tighter. Everything's a little tighter. Okay, and just remember that. Okay, keep these things in mind. I'm going to talk about more of the stuff later on, but yeah, I really want to go over some of the stuff about the bare knuckle boxing. I've gotten some questions on it and things, and it really is a fascinating study. But of course, like I said, quite different from regular gloved boxing. All right, so hope you found this useful, and talk to you guys soon.